It's your boy Jae Lava, the Heat Maker, aka the Fatherless Barber. What I'm really dabbling into, growing up as a youngster, Hot Springs, Arkansas. Fell in love with music when I was, about 2 years old. Actually in the streets, dancing, doing different things, not knowing what was going on, but just listening to a rhythm and listening to a beat and just vibing to that beat. That kind of got my attraction to music. And then, moving to Portland, Oregon, about like 1989, moving to Portland here. And then just really like growing up, listening to different variations of music, different artists. I started rapping, I'll say about 3rd, 4th grade, that's more so like freestyling. I can remember, doing my first freestyle to the, Bone Thugs and Harmony, the Thuggish Ruggers Bone instrumental, just doing a little freestyle to that and kind of like, man, like this is dope, And then from that point, it was more so like doing talent shows in middle school, elementary school, middle school, high school, and then finding my identity through that. And then as far as writing goes, I wrote my first song in the 8th grade, and then I realized like, what, I can be original with this. I can do my own thing. I can do my own songs. And because the creativity was there. So from that point, it just elevated. And, doing music throughout my whole life, I realized like it's nothing but artistry. It's an art, So getting older, having kids and going through the different things of music, performing throughout the years, I realized like at one point I was getting like, stagnant and, complacent, to the point where didn't know where I really wanted to go with things, So I found a new venture, and that new venture was cutting hair, So June 14, 2019, it struck me when I was at my 9 to 5, like, what, I'm gonna try something different. Because now at this point, I got 5 kids, I got 5 boys. So now I'm like, what can I do to save money and make money? And I started cutting hair. And then as I started cutting hair, I realized that this is nothing but artistry. Everything is an art,
Yeah.
When I got the clippers in my hand and I got a head that I need to cut, the clippers is a pen or a pencil, and the head is the paper, a blank canvas, and I'm just creating from that point. So it's all from the mental aspect though, but I feel like there was all artistry behind the whole situation. So me starting that was like, what, I can kind of merge the two together. You feel me?
Yeah.
Pretty much the music and the cutting, and as me getting older, I just realized it's just a platform for me and my kids to create, income, create a different revenue, and to create a different platform that nobody really knows about, and also to keep me relevant as well. So, and like I said, I got 5 boys that I grind for every day. So that's the reason why I really do what I do, cut hair, women's hair, men's hair, kids' hair. And so from that point, I'm thinking like, what can I do to enhance them, to get them on a different platform of entrepreneurship, or being independent, or having their own way of thinking. So that's the reason why I do what I do. What I'm saying, and then like the music, it kind of like it gets me on a point where it enhances me to continue on going. I continue on going so they can see that daddy never stopped, if that makes sense. Like, despite how old I'm getting, despite what's going on, it allows me to continue on keeping my engine going, because they're looking at me like I'm Superman, you know. So they want to see what daddy got going on next, what daddy got, you know, what's in the mix. And so that, with that being said, like, you know, new music is dropping. You know, I got, you know, one of my good friends, long-term friends, over 20 years, my good fella C Goods. We're producing an album right now that's definitely off the charts. We in Momentum Studios with my good fella Zeb, and we're really capitalizing on the growth of Jae Lava. You know, the growth of what I've been through, because I'm a chameleon when it comes to music. I can do a lot of things. You know, I can go from down south to East Coast to West Coast to whatever you want to go, but I stay true within myself, and we're kind of like displaying that artistry and keeping things rolling, and my boys are looking at that like, man, you know, I want to be like that, or I want to see, you know, where daddy takes this, and I want to see where daddy's going with this, and, you know, so it helps them elevate themselves, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, soccer, construction worker, no matter what. They can see the continuous of the hard work and the grind that I put in to, you know, be the man I am right now. You feel me?
Yeah.
So yeah. So overall, it's an uphill battle, and overall, it's definitely a task and adversity. But, you know, I feel like I'm the right man for the job. You feel me? You know, and you know, I got a brand coming out. You know, Faze and Styles is the brand. You got everything from cut like that, stay sharp, shape up, set the wave. You know, the five represents my boys, but also the 5 represents, you know, the 5 things that create your character, and that's integrity, discipline, dedication, loyalty, and respect. That's the 5 things that create your character, and the 5 represents my boys. So everything I do is for them. So, you know, just keep grinding, keep working hard, keep doing what I'm doing. I'm still learning. I'm only 3 years in to the hair industry, and knowing, you know, from this point that the sky is not the limit, because I can go beyond this, and that's where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? So look for me, check me out. My Instagram is 5.ade5. And you can just, you know, follow my content. You can follow me and my boys' journey. You can follow the music. I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, pretty much all platforms. And the whole model is no age of success, you know? So look out for me, Jae Lava the Heat Maker, aka the Fatherless Barber. Yeah. Yo! LAV. Just playing around with it though. So I never go exercise, you know? They say a lava, a boy right there be a mess. Linked up with WOFXX. Right now the boy really gon' flex and say, you can give me a call / text. Listen, I ain't even worrying about the refs, cause I'm beneficial, no technical. This boy right here is gonna really just move that crowd. I say, god dang, they probably just liking my smile. This is me and how I'm gonna handle my biz. Like, Lava, how you doing? And then you got 5 kids. I said, well, that's something I supply. That was Jalen, Jordan, Jaleel, Hut, Jackson, Jakai. I show them how to firework. Well, that's the 4th of July. I say, ho, that's the worst place. After the worst place, it's the 4th of July. That's the same month as my birthday. The cancers right there is all work. Wait. Say about them feelings. Emotional shit, they give you healings. And I am right now be the thrilling. I'm just rapping what's up on my mental, and this right here don't require no pencil. This is like something real simple. If the bump over there, then you pop it like a pimple. It's all cool, who educate the fool, take them back to school, say I should've used the tool, and say I'm all smooth. Listen, I live or die, would that be the rule? The golden, and right now the boy been spoken, is chosen, and if anybody pass me my token, it's me. I was raised up in a city of the roses, that's no flaw. But I was raised in the city of the roses, down south, be the Arkansas. and say I can cut it off with no saw. And I ain't playing around with you playgrounds, that's the seed when I saw, and swing into things and make them slide, and make them all ride, and make the flow collide, and say, God dang, Jake, throw me that lob. If they don't like that, you should have kept your day job.